Welcome to our webcast Automator self-service portal. Go hybrid with Azure Automation and Automator. For your notes, this session will be recorded. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat window. We will answer them at the end of this presentation. And the recording and all the information will be sent via email in a few days. So my name is Michael Seidel. I'm located in Austria. I'm a cloud and data center MVP since several years now, and I'm also the owner and founder of Automator. And I've also written some books in the past doing blogging and a lot of automation. So let's start with the agenda. We start with a short Automator introduction. Then we head over to a demo how to connect Azure Automation and Automator. Then we will see some showcases, return of investment calculation, and at the very end, we will have our Q&A. So the Automator self-service portal for Microsoft Automation. So Automator is a web frontend to trigger Microsoft Automation engines. These engines can be System Center Orchestrator, System Center SMA, simple PowerShell scripts, or Azure Automation runbooks. And the best of all, you only need one license and you can use all 4 automation engines. So how does this all work together? First, you need the automation. In our case, in our example today, you need the Azure Automation runbook. For example, we would like to add a user to a group as an automation. We will need initialize data, the user and the group. Then the script will do all the stuff to add the user into this group, and best will return a data successfully added the user to the group. So you have to build these automation engines, automation tasks, and then Automator comes in place. You can build a service, transform your initialized data from your Azure Automation to the questions, configure an additional approval workflow, and configure role-based access so you can control who can see your services. Then the user can start the request. If configured, he needs to wait for an approval. Then the automation will be triggered, and then you get the return data. So that's the idea behind the Automator self-service portal. And why self-service would make sense, because automation helps to improve and to secure. So to improve, to automate a standard task in your environment will help you to improve, because it will be done every time the same way and every time the same result. And to secure, you can reduce your domain admins, your Exchange admins, your Office 365 admins, your Azure portal admins by doing automation and put Automator as a self-service portal in front. And of course, self-service will speed up because requests to the IT department will solve automatically, automation run, and all the tasks will be finished without interacting of any IT members. And then, of course, self-service will make you happy, and of course, your customers or your clients. And PowerShell and Azure has a huge community. So if you want to start or enhance your PowerShell and Azure Automation runbooks, there's a huge community where you can get new scripts, new idea, and a lot of help. So the top 12 services from our customers are typically user onboarding, user offboarding, reset the user password, VM provisioning, and it doesn't matter if this is on-premise for Hyper-V or VMware, or you're doing it in the Azure portal. The automation with PowerShell, with Azure Automation, it doesn't rely on any vendor. You can do it with all Microsoft and non-Microsoft systems. And install a software, change Active Directory details, reboot a server, grant access to a mailbox or to a file server, and so on and so on. And we have something more. You can place some announcements. You can manage your team. You can see your user details. and we are fully Active Directory integrated. So there's no cache, no synchronization, nothing. We're fully Active Directory integrated. And to see how this all works together and look like, we just head over to our demo environment. So this is our portal. A short introduction, that's the information from the Active Directory, including the nice picture of me. So that's my user details, and I also can see these details of my team. And this team information is also live from the Active Directory. This is built on the managed by attribute or on any group related informations. And of course, you can combine these two parameters. So you can build it in this or that or both together. And to get a feeling, what we do is we start a simple request. And what we described a few seconds before, we just want to add a user to a group. So in the background, there's an Azure Automation runbook to add a user to a group. And now we want to trigger these form. And we just search for add user. We want to do add user to a group. Now we select next. That was the wrong one. We want this one. So in this case, we choose the user. So I want to have this user, and this information is live from your Active Directory. So in the background, there's an LDAP query, get all this information, and the same for the groups. So in this case, we want to have this automated user group. Then we add a comment, and then we click finish. So that was the part of Automator. In the background, the Azure Automation runbook was triggered and will add the user to the group. So that's the idea, what we are offering with our product. So now we see how to build all this together. First of all, we need to connect to the Azure Automation service. So Automator needs some informations to talk to Azure Automation. So for this, we will suggest you to create a new user in your Azure Active Directory and provide them the control, access control of reader and automation operator. And do not configure MFA. So this will make it hard to authenticate. Then build your runbooks. So you can build PowerShell runbooks, you can build graphically PowerShell workflows, graphically PowerShell runbooks, whatever you like. The most important thing is, and we prepared already one runbook, it is the Demo AA. The most important thing is you have to create some input parameters. So that's the main part, because this script needs to add user to a group, and Automator is passing these values from the portal to the Azure Automation runbook. So in our case, we need the C user, the C group, and of course, additionally a comment. And all these other parameters, some built-in initialized data, we will see in a different webcast. And with this information, our script is very simple, without much error handling, but just for the better understanding, we are proving is the user already a member of this group, then we will return the user was already in this group. Otherwise, we will try to add the user to a group, and if we get an error, we just return that an error occurred. So a very simple script, but to show the idea, it's enough. And of course, when you trigger an Azure Automation runbook, you can decide if this runs in Azure or on a hybrid worker in your local environment. And to add an Active Directory user in an Active Directory group, we have to run it on a local on-premise environment. For this, we configured a hybrid worker. It is called Automator HWG, and this is connected to our demo environment. And now switch back to our demo server, and we built this service now. So we will call it AA demo add user to group. It is number 3, because we did already some webcasts today. Do the same for the description. We choose a service group. This is already configured. It's called WEBCAST demo, and we select an image. And then one of the important things is we need to select the runbook. First of all, select the automation engine. And then in our case, we want to run this on a hybrid worker, we need to add this hybrid worker group name here. So then the runbook will be triggered with the parameter to run on the hybrid worker. Then we select the runbook. This is the demo AA runbook we saw a few seconds before. And then from these input parameters we saw in the portal, we get our questions. And we just need to enter some nice question names. And so the comment will be on the third order, and it's a simple text question. The group will be named choose a group. And this is an LDAP query. The query will be object class equals group. And then we want to see the name. A short click on view, we see all the groups from our Active Directory. And the last thing is the user one, choose a user. Also an LDAP query. And the query will look like object class equals user. And the values will be name and SAM account name. Of course, you can choose whatever you like. And then a short click on view, we see the results, and that's it. So now we have created a new service, and now we want to trigger the service. In this case, I want to run it for myself. I scroll down to the WEBCAST demo, and here is the number 3. And I choose a user, and I take this one, and I choose a group. It is the automated user group. And to provide you the proof of this, we take a look at the automated user group, a small typo, and just check the members. I will remove all of them. So to double check, we'll really empty this group and apply, double check, no members in it. And now we can run this task. So now the Azure Automation runbook will be triggered. If we take a look at the Azure portal, we will see this job is already queued and it will run on the automated HWG hybrid worker group. Just a refresh, it should be completed, yes. And if you take a look at the runbook details, at the job details, we transferred these values to our runbook. The user DN, the group DN, our comment, and the built-in initialized data. So that's it. And now back to our demo environment, and to prove everything was working fine, now we have one member, which one we selected a few seconds before. So that's the easy way, or how easy it is to create from the Azure Automation runbook to an automator service. And now we're at the point to show you some real-life examples. What we already did, we built already some Azure Automation runbooks for you, because these Azure Automation runbooks or PowerShell scripts are free to download from our repositories. We will send this information via email in a few days. So this is completely free to download, to use. And our first scenario is our team member, Mike Young, was on holiday and he come back to the office and he forgot his password. And after 1 or 2 or 3 tries, his account will be disabled. And just take a look, now the button is green. If you do a refresh, now this dot is red, so we see the user is disabled. And usually Mike Jan will call the IT department or go to the IT department. Hey, my password has expired, or I'm not able to log in. And then they have to log into Active Directory, reset the password, and so on and so on. In our case, Mike Jan is heading over to his manager. In this case, this is me, and I can run a service for Mike Jan. And this one is called Secure Reset the Password. And to authenticate that I can reset the password from Mike Jan, I need to provide an answer of a question he has to do before this he can use the service. So he already did some answering question answering of these questions, and he needs to provide me this answer, but not any password or something like this, but just this answer. and I want to send him the new password via text message. So now I click finish. Now in the background, the Azure Automation runbook will be triggered. Now we check if the question is, if the answer question combination is correct, then the user will be activated. So now the user is activated again, and here it is also green, and the password will be sent via text message to the user, to Mike Jan, not to the manager. So that's a secure way. The manager will not be able to see the password, to set the password. And the question, what we choose here, is already disabled for Mike Jan. So I cannot reset with the same answer and question combination. So that's the idea behind this secure password. Also, an example is add user or create user. I'm not sure at the moment. I think it was no. It was new user. So just a simple user onboarding. So the first name, the last name, the location, and take a look at this location information. It's not anything we have to provide. So this is live from the Active Directory. So our Active Directory contains these organization units, and this is the same information live from the Active Directory. So you do not have to fill any lists and double information. Just get your information from the LDAP, from your SQL, from wherever you have your information stored, just present it to this list. In our case, this user will be in Japan. His manager will be myself. So I will just take a look at my user. The entry date is the 29th of June. Yes, he needs a hardware. Oh, I have a drop down graphic. I need a monitor. I need two, and maybe I need more. Oh, why? I need 3. So that's a good example of how to build or to use dynamic forms. So related to the answer of any questions, you can hide or add additionally questions. So that's the simple explanation or demonstration of dynamic forms. So now in the background, the Azure Automation runbook will be triggered. And in Tokyo, the user is already created. And of course, as I selected that I am the manager, I should see the user here also in my list. And here it is, Paul Sutt. So one more proof that this information is live from the Active Directory. One more thing, as Mike Jan is now able to log in, we switch the browser. So here the user is Mike Jan. He has not that many navigation points like on my side, because I was an administrative user, and he is not able to run as much as services as I am, but he can use the requester software. So the end user needs a software to install on his computer, and he selects from a list we receive directly from the SCCM application SQL server. So this information is stored in the SCCM SQL, and this question is configured to present this information. And now we select the Adobe Photoshop. Of course, we choose the computer. And why does Mike Jan only see this computer? Because this is related to Mike Jan. And one time back to SCCM environment, because the primary user is Jan Mike, and that's the reason why he sees only this computer. So it doesn't make sense to present them 100 or 1,000 of computers. We present them their computers. They want to install the software. And now Mike Jan clicks finish. But no automation is triggered at this point, because this service is configured to that an approval is needed. And in this case, the manager has to approve. And luckily, I am the manager. So I switch back to my browser. And yes, I see there are several software requests. I take the first one. And yes, this is the one from Jan Mike. And he requesting Adobe Photoshop for his computer demo 02. Now I can decide approve, deny. I can add some comments, and that's it. And when I click approve, then the automation is triggered. Then the Azure Automation runbook triggers and puts the computer into the software collection in SCCM. But only after the approval was made. You can configure the approval that a single approval deny is needed, or you can create or configure a group of users and that a percentage of approval is needed. So 50% from 5 users, so at least 3 users have to agree or approve. Okay, and now we want to show you some additional real-life examples to manage your team environments. So in these days, teams got very important to stay connected to your office, to your teammates, and so on. And of course, you have to create teams, remove teams, add members, but give this opportunity to your team leaders, to your managers, not to the IT department. And for this, you can create a new team within au2mator and in the background an Azure Automation runbook. So enter team name, my team number 1. We do the same as a description. We select the team owner. In this case, it should be me. And we can select if it is a public or private team, and we can choose some team members. In this case, this should be one of my colleagues, Jasmine. And now click finish. So we are switching back to my browser, and you should see, yeah, it is already here. So team number 1 has been added. And if you take a look at the managed team, you will see that I am the owner and Jasmine is the member. And we can also manage the team members. In our case, I want to add Jasmine not as a member, I want to add her as an owner. So in our case, I want to, let me see, add a team member. I need to select the team. It is my team number 1. And I want to choose Jasmine once again to add her not as a member. I want to add her as an owner and click finish. Once again, switch back to my Teams environment. I need to refresh this information. And now Jasmine is the owner. So one more example here. Of course, you can add channels, remove owners to members, and so on. But you can also remove a team. So we have remove team, select your team. Of course, this is a list of all your available teams. Click finish, and then the team will be removed. Okay, that's it. That has been our real-life examples. And once again, if you have any questions, type them into the chat window. We are close to the Q&A section. And additionally, all these examples, manage your teams, reset password, request a software, all these scripts, these automation tasks are free to use from our repositories at GitHub or PowerShell Gallery. Now the licensing part. So we are not free, unfortunately. We need to we sell the license, but it's a very simple licensing. We have 4 different licenses, but each license has the same values, the same features. We just count your active directory users, and that's why we made 4 different licenses to make it for smaller companies easier to afford our license. And that was the reason to make 4 different licenses. So at the very beginning, you have to pay the initial license cost. And if you decide to continue the maintenance, then you have to pay 20% of the initial cost per year, starting with the 2nd year. Now our return of investment calculation. So of course, it is very important if you buy a license, if you invest in automation and all this stuff, that any time around you need a return of investment. So when do you reach this point of return of investment? So in our example, we choose one of our customers, which was needed a rookie license, and this is a real life example. And if you decide if you need a different license, go to our website. we have a return of investment calculation for each of our license, and each of these are depending on a real life example, on a real life customer. Okay, so one of our customers does need a rookie license, and he's implementing 3 services: user onboarding, password reset, and out of office reply. The initial cost for the first year has been around 8,800 euros. This is combined by the license cost and the implementation cost to run this, develop these automation tasks for the request user onboarding, reset password, and out of office reply. At the other hand, we calculated the time savings per year. And at this customers, we saved around 250 hours on the first year because the IT department has not taken care about all these steps anymore. So they hasn't been in charge for user onboarding, reset password, or out of office reply. The user triggered the form and the automation has done it automatically in the background. So we saved 250 hours. This has been around 1.5 months. And now it's saved time related to the loan and to company taxes for around 9,000 euro. And so the truth is you will have your return of investment at the end of the first year, at the beginning of the second year. And this is nearly the same for each of our licenses and of each of our return of investment calculations, which reflect a real life customer example. Hopefully you are now convinced. Then the next step would be to convince your team leader or your supervisor or your CEO, CTO, or your anything. If that is okay, then you have to get the license. Then you need to get the license. You can get the license from one of our partners, which are listed on our website, or you can navigate to our au2mator shop on our website and directly get the license in our shop, and you will receive the license just within a few minutes. And at the end, you have to build your automation, your workflow. This can also be done by our partners. They are highly, they would be happy to assist you. It can be done by yourself, of course. You can write your own PowerShell scripts, your own Azure Automation runbooks. If you do not want to do this, if you do not have time, if you do not have the skill, you can book our au2mator Premium services. So we can help you to build your automation tasks, or go to GitHub or PowerShell Gallery and use our ready to automate free to use PowerShell scripts, what you saw in our demo, in our showcases. Some last words. You can download au2mator self-service portal for free and use it for free up to 2 services without any time limitation. So you can use it, you can try it, 2 services, no time limit. Just go to our website, enter your name and your email address, and you will get the download link. If you need any more information, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation, if you want to have a conversation with your team leader, with your CEO, whatever, just contact us over our website, over mail, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you like. So just let us know if you need any more informations. And now we are at the very end, at the Q&A. If you have any questions, please type them now into the chat window. Once again, this session has been recorded, so we will send the recording, we will publish the recording on YouTube in a few days in our YouTube channel, and then you will receive an email with all the necessary information. So as there are still no questions in the chat window, I will say thank you very much for your time, enjoy your weekend, and bye-bye.